So if you haven't heard of this guy, there's probably a reason why you haven't heard of him because he's hard to find. Uh, Owen Benjamin. So his full name is like a lot longer. It is. Let me find this here. His full name is Owen Benjamin Cares Troy Smith. That's a mouthful. So he is, well, was an actor. He was a comedian. I guess he probably still is somewhat of a comedian, maybe a smaller audience now. But he got into, you know, he got into what you'd call conspiracy theories, right? He started to talk about things that weren't, you know, uh, what do you say about conspiracy theories? I mean, so a conspiracy theory is a conspiracy theory until suddenly it's not anymore. So he got into he got in trouble talking about things and saying things in a way that you shouldn't be saying them, saying some of the wrong stuff. And I from some of the stuff he said allegedly, I am like I say allegedly, I'm sure it's there's proof of it. I just don't know personally. So from what I've read, it's pretty bad. It's hard to find, like I said, it's hard to find any videos of him. There was a JRE podcast. It's number 1033. Go look for it. Doesn't exist. You go from 1032 to 1034. Doesn't exist anymore. So they washed that one. He was on PragerU. Did a couple of stints on there. Washed. So he's been washed pretty much from everything. He's been banned from most of the social media sites. I think he's back on X now, but this is a pretty big washing of this guy. I want to play a little of this video. I don't know if I can play the whole thing. It's like 9 minutes, so I won't play the whole thing. I'd like to. I would encourage you to go find it because it's very interesting. And the way he parses this information, the way he puts it out there, it makes it very compelling. The thing about when somebody is convicted in their own thought, they can very easily be compelling and convincing to people listening, even if you don't understand everything they're talking about, or you do. Even if you do, it, it still has a very. You'll see what I mean. This it's very convincing. I'm gonna play this. Let me know what you think in the comments, but I'm gonna comment as I go along. I'll pause it a little bit, whatever, just so I don't get any infringements on the copyright use of it. Oof, let's see. So here, what he's saying there, it's like you know he's saying that, but you what do you mean you can't? You can have God could have created anything the way you wanted to create if you just take a creator. It's like I forget what the term is. It's basically everything has one big leap of faith type thing. You have to believe one leap of faith. So like the Big Bang, you'd have to believe that one great thing happened, and then with everything else, like you have to believe God created it. So this is where it's like he starts out a little bit whatever, but yeah, I'm gonna play a little further and just listen along. Apparently, I have no volume. This is amazing. Okay. Well, thanks, Joe, for telling me because I thought there might have been a volume issue with this video. Um, okay. So sorry, you're not gonna be able to listen to the damn video, but let me just tell you what the video source says. He talks about. I go look this video up anyway though. You just have to look up his name, Owen Benjamin. Uh, I think you got to go 2 pages down through the search to find it, and then you're gonna find this thing. It's basically like something about flat earthers, what they don't want you to know type thing. Anyways, what he's saying is that everything's in entropy. So meaning that he uses a reference of a glass. You take a glass, you break the glass. At never at any point does that glass, no matter how long you leave it, just come back together and form itself into a glass again. It's entropy, right? So eventually it'll degrade to nothing and turn back to sand and blah blah blah. He also uses the eyeball. He says he does this all the time because the eyeball. So he says the eyeball, the fact that this universe that smashing atoms come together were to create this eyeball. He makes a lot of these kinds of points, but it's there's some nonsense in it because you don't know exactly what he's trying to say. Is he trying to say that the earth is flat and there's a firmament and God is looking down and nothing else is real? Or is he saying it all is what it is, but God created it? So there's not. That's where I say it's convincing when he's speaking in the way that he speaks very convicted, but you have to kind of listen for the nonsense in there. Some of the things he says that and they start to tie into other things as far as when you look at the moon tidal locked with the Earth and it doesn't turn at all; it stays exactly on the same axis. The chances of that and the idea that that is a real thing is already contested by many people to say that it's not necessarily natural, that it could be there's a number of theories out there. I'm not going to get into those, but that's not even not unlikely. It's just in his idea, it's impossible. Same with the idea that the Earth is 400 times smaller than the sun, and then the when the moon is placed in a certain place, it actually blots out the sun completely, perfectly. There's a number of things that he says that it's hard to kind of dispute in that way, especially for the normal person like you and I who maybe don't have the information. We're not physicists, we're not in that sphere. So you listen to this guy and you go, wow, that's pretty darn convincing. And it's obviously convincing to a lot of people because this video has been shared a bunch of times. If you look it up, it's been different people will share it and it gets millions of views. So this video has been kicking around for a little while. Anyways, okay. So there's my point on him to start. Pretty interesting take that video is anyway. But what's more interesting about this guy is the fact that, yeah, he may have said some things. He may have done like I would think they're probably in the same vein as Alex Jones, right? But he has been banned and whitewashed completely from the internet. You can't. It's hard to find him. Really, really hard to find anything of his. I'm going to show you, and then here's something else. I'm going to show you uh, his Wikipedia page. So here's the Wikipedia page right up of him. I'm just going to read the first little paragraph here. So his full name, known professionally as Owen Benjamin, is an American conspiracy theorist and internet personality who has espoused views rooted in white supremacy, supremacism. Why is it supremacy? Whatever. White supremacism and anti-Semitism. Okay. He was a stand-up comedian, an actor who had minor roles in mainstream film and television between 2008 and 15. Okay, so there's him. Now, if you know who Ethan Klein is, if you don't, I'll give you a quick little synopsis. Ethan Klein is a leftist YouTuber, pretty big guy in that sphere. He was notably famous over the last little while with you know right leaning people because he made a comment about Ben Shapiro saying that uh, I I'm going to screw up the actual uh, quote, but something about him being first to be gassed. Yeah, as far as yeah, it's pretty awful. Anyways, so he said that talk about anti-Semitic, talk about just hate speech altogether. This is what they write about him in Wikipedia. So his name is an American and Israeli YouTuber and host of the H3 podcast. He first found fame with the YouTube channel H3H3 Productions, created and hosted by him and his wife, Hyla Klein. Their content consisted of reaction videos and sketch comedy in which they satirized internet culture. Not even remotely the same. One guy is basically tarred and feathered. The other guy, you wouldn't even know he did that. Unless maybe it might be down in here somewhere. Probably not. I don't even see it anywhere down here. So nobody even puts that in there because what he's saying is against, you know, a right wing conservative guy in Ben Shapiro. And what Mr. Owen Benjamin said, that's against people that they like. So there's the difference right there. Strange, strange stuff when you can get this kind of just crazy banning. Like I said, go search them. Just go see what you can find, and you'll see it's very hard to find anything. The fact that a conservative outlet like PragerU would delete his videos or videos related with him is a bit weird to me as well. Like, I wonder what kind of pressure they got to do that. Were they going to be, were they going to be somehow doxxed or not doxxed? I mean, or banned on something? I don't know. Uh, JRE podcast, yeah, whatever. I guess it's weird, but at the same time, understandable. I guess because it's not really. I, I don't know. It's not really in the sphere of what probably Spotify would want on their you know on their platform essentially. Although I don't think the Milo whatever his name is, Milo guy, that what is it, Yankovic, whatever his last name, something like that. I don't think his podcast on the Jerry thing has been deleted. So again, I don't. This one was weird to me. When I found him, I thought I'll just look him up, see who he is. Look him up, like, whoa, can't find any of this. So challenge you, go look him up, see what you can find. Let me know in the comments if you find anything about him. If you can, if you do deep dive, and I've just for whatever reason my hour-long deep dive was you know, maybe I was, maybe I should have been on DuckDuckGo or something. I don't know, but I couldn't find really anything about him. Crazy, crazy. This guy might just be the most banned guy on the internet right now.